Dyslexic Genius here. I'm back on an Amberola A-1, and I'm going to show you some things about the drawers and the restoration. We'll be going through videos on this. And what happens is on Amberola A1s is they have these clips. And these clips pop onto your cylinder like this, and they sit in the drawers, and they have a tendency to rip your boxes off. And a lot of times on Amberola A1s is that these are missing out of the machine. And to find 200 of these to replace is extremely expensive. But there's another way around that. On cylinders, cabinets, they have these cardboard pieces, and then they have a little piece machined out, and the cardboard fits in there, and you glue all this in. Well, on an A1, we have a bunch of holes inside where the clips used to sit, like that. So I build pegs out of poplar. So when I measure this one, and they're both the same, roughly the same height. This is 1.5 inches. And then you can put your cylinder on like this, and the poplar will help the wood and this from your plaster of Paris from expanding more when it sits into the machine. So how do we...
So the
poplar helps the bare wood. The bare wood will suck up the moisture.
Oh, okay. So then the moisture won't go into the
Plaster of Paris on the cylinders. Yes.
Okay, got it.
So how do we do this? Well, the first thing is these holes that they originally put in were number 6, and I feel that a number 6 screw. I don't have one in the shop, but it's about the head is about half this size. Okay, this is a number 8, and it's about half this size. So when you come in on the back side and you have a smaller head here, when we screw this in, that's gonna, if you hit one of the pegs, it's gonna bend into this plywood. So I enlarged those holes. So now I have this done. How do I get here? Let's go to the lathe. I cut each one of these out at 3.5 inches.
You started with this big board, big dowel.
Yes, I have 195 more to go. I cut them down like this. And I'm using the bandsaw. I have it set up for the distance when the saw comes down. So now we'll go over to the lathe, and I'll show you how to sand these down and how to do it all. You're going to chuck it into the lathe. You're going to have a lathe or a wood lathe to do this. It's going to be very noisy, so I won't talk about it. I won't speak while the lathe is running. You're going to take the sandpaper like this and smooth out the pin. And then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to roll around like this to round this edge out. And then we're going to end, I'm going to sand this down. So if you watch my hands, I'll show you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it to the other side, and you saw I ran it over with my thumb, and that rounds off the top for it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sand this down, and then we're going to punch a hole in it as a guide hole for the wood screw to go into. And you saw at the end, I just gave it a little deburr with the sandpaper. Now that's clean. You just have to put a small pilot hole. Doesn't matter, just so it's about half the thickness of the wood screw. Lock that in. And that's how you build one, and we'll screw them in. And that's my tip for the day, and 195 more to go.